In this video, we're going to explore primary keys and how they're dealt with Ruby on Rails and active record models. If we take a look at an active record class declaration here, and specifically our comment class, you'll see that there's really nothing that we've added in here at this point of our own stuff other than to declare the class, and Ruby on Rails will automatically pick up the attributes that are in this particular table. So specifically, they'll pick up the ID, comment, created at, and updated at attributes without any problem. And the ID is our primary key in this case. And I've just set it up there. It's important to know that this needs to be called ID as this, and needs to be set as your primary key, and it needs to be set as auto increment in order for Ruby on Rails. That's what Ruby on Rails is expecting. You can change this name or have a different name. I wouldn't recommend changing the name, but you can if you're supporting a legacy database, in other words, a database where the primary key field has already been designated. You can designate inside your Ruby on Rails model declaration a different name for your primary key, and that is done by issuing the command primary key, and say it was called PK, which is common. I mean, it could just be about anything. This command will tell Ruby on Rails, your Ruby on Rails application, that the primary key for the comments table is PK and not ID, and not to use ID. But you should not do this if you're creating a new table. You should stick to the convention of using ID as your table. Now, in some cases, people feel that they want to use some kind of user accessible data as a primary key. For example, if you're tracking books and you might be tempted to use the ISBN as the primary key. I caution against doing that because you may have duplicates or situations where you have the same ISBN on multiple books for whatever reason. Also, if it's user accessible in some fashion, users don't always know what they're going to be entering and how it's going to conflict, and you have to put a lot more code into your application to take care of that type of thing. It's much easier to go ahead and use a primary key that is managed by your database and accessible only via your database. In that way, it'll make your application development a lot smoother, especially when it comes to interacting with your database.